Mountain News, first at 4, continues. We are learning more about a weekend crash, and deputies say one man is still missing. Saturday around 6 p.m., the Leslie County Sheriff's Department received a call about an accident in Greasy Creek off Highway 2009. When deputies arrived, they were able to get a woman out of the car who was flown to a hospital soon after, but deputies learned there was also a man in the car that they could not find. Now they are on day 3 of searching for the missing person.
The crew spent most of the night into the early hours of the morning trying to locate him in the river. They came back, suspended search that night, came back first thing Sunday morning, resumed the search all day yesterday. We searched all the way up to tonight. We're back out this morning searching.
And crews are still out searching today, we understand, and plan to expand their search to new areas. The deputies have not released the names of anyone involved. We'll have more on this coming up tonight at 6. In this day and age, scammers are becoming more creative and in turn making scams more prevalent. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke with the executive director for the Office of Senior Protection to learn more about which scams are impacting people the most and what we can look out for to avoid becoming a victim.
Whether it's banking scams, IRS scams, or publishers clearinghouse scams, imposter scams, and so on, scams are all around us.
So I think as a whole, roughly we've seen 1,500 imposter scams in the last year, with the losses of about $9 million just to the imposter scams. So it's very prevalent. It's just a different twist on the exact same scam.
Executive Director for the Office of Senior Protection, LaDonna Coble, says trending scams really depend on what is going on in the world around us.
So right now, when you're starting to see utility costs or gas prices are on the increase, scammers are pretending to be the utility companies to shut off. We're going to shut off your utilities unless you pay us right now. There's always an emergency, and the emergency helps them perpetrate the scam because they want people to panic and try to take care of this issue.
Coble adds that if you receive a call, email, or letter from your utilities company and you feel as though it's a scam, it's best to call your company directly to better gauge the situation, helping to keep people informed on the latest threats to their security. Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Coble adds that it's important to stay vigilant to avoid getting scammed and, of course, to report any scams you hear about or have fallen victim to. You can find more information on how to report scams on our website and later tonight at 6.
Well, a gorgeous day around the mountains today. High pressure in place, giving us not just plenty of sunshine, but an increase in milder temperatures as well. And if you like today, you're going to like the next few days. US 119 camera at Pine Mountain. All clear. No weather worries out there this afternoon. I-75 at London. Not a cloud in sight. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. As afternoon slowly turns into evening, that's boosted temperatures up into the low to middle or even middle to upper 50s around the region. Our cool spot, Wise, also Moorhead right now, kind of the two ends of the area. Northeast or northwest to southeast, but all is quiet. Pinpoint Doppler, satellite and radar, you got to go up into northern Kentucky, north of Interstate 64 to even run into any clouds, let alone anything that might actually fall to the ground. For that, you got to go up north of Lake Erie into southern Canada. So we're in great shape, and we'll continue to see that heading into tonight. Low to mid 30s out there for overnight lows. Partly cloudy skies and even milder temperatures on the way for the next few days, both day and night. And I'll have the latest on that coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. A United Nations climate report out this morning warns we are running out of ways to adapt to climate change. The grim findings show nearly half the world's population is considered highly vulnerable, and global leadership to combat climate change is failing. The UN Secretary General says it's essential for world leaders to meet the goal of limiting global temperature rise by 1.5 degrees Celsius. In the U.S., a recent appeal to the Supreme Court could potentially limit the EPA's authority to limit carbon dioxide emissions from power plants.
EPA can now regulate in ways that cost billions of dollars, affect thousands of businesses, and are designed to address an issue with worldwide effect. This is major policymaking power under any definition.
The outcome of the Supreme Court case could hamstring the Biden administration's efforts to fight climate change in the U.S. California, Oregon, and Washington are the latest states to update their masking guidance as COVID cases continue to drop across the nation. CBS's Elise Preston reports from New York City, where officials are getting ready to end indoor masking in America's largest school district.
It's a turning point in the pandemic. New York State is set to end its school mask mandate on Wednesday. In New York City, officials plan to follow suit next Monday as long as COVID numbers continue to fall.
I love it. It's about time.
I am very upset about it because my daughter has an underlying condition.
The city also announced it intends to lift vaccine requirements for restaurants, gyms, and other indoor places next week.
My cashiers always ask, and I feel like it's going to be more customers going to come in.
New York City is holding off on making a final decision until Friday as it continues to monitor the COVID situation. Nationwide, new daily infections are down 96% from last month on average. Hospitalizations have fallen by 70%. On Friday, the CDC changed the way it determines a community's risk level of severe COVID. Under the new guidelines, more than 70% of Americans no longer have to wear a mask indoors.
It's looking at day to day, what are your cases in the community? How many people are in the hospital? What's the hospital bed capacity?
Massachusetts dropped its school mask mandate Monday, and Illinois ended its mask mandate in most public spaces. But some Chicago public school parents are demanding the masking continues.
A lot of people are hoping this is over, and I'm here to tell you it's not. We are still living in a pandemic.
And on Capitol Hill, masks will be optional for Tuesday's State of the Union address. Another sign of life returning a bit more to normal. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
California, Oregon, and Washington announced this afternoon that they are adopting new indoor mask policies starting March 12th, moving from mask requirements to mask recommendations in schools. Many Amazon employees will soon be able to ditch their masks. The company issued a statement Monday saying warehouse workers do not have to wear facial coverings in states where they are not mandated by local laws. This applies to all, regardless of vaccination status. The change does go into effect Tuesday and came after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention changed its guidance on mask wearing for those who are healthy. Amazon officials call this move a, quote, exciting step in our path to normal operations. Some Smithsonian museums are reopening after being closed because of staff shortages. The Anacostia Community Museum will open Thursday, March 10th. The National Postal Museum opens Friday the 11th. And lastly, the National Air and Space Museum on the National Mall opens Friday, March 11th, but not for long. It will close March 28th for renovations until the fall. All Smithsonian museums and the National Zoo are continuing to operate on modified schedules. All eyes on Belarus, where talks between Ukrainian and Russian delegations took place today. After the meeting ended, both groups returned to their capital cities. This photo was taken inside that meeting by Belarus's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is unclear what, if anything, could come out of these talks, but one Ukrainian spokesperson says another round of negotiations could be coming. Before the meeting, the Kremlin spokesman declined to comment on Russia's goal in these high-level discussions. The Ukrainian president has said he does not expect much from the meeting, and Western leaders don't have high hopes either. Coming up on First at 4, the growing popularity of cryptocurrency has also led to a rising number of scams.
And we've got more sunshine and even warmer air on the way as we head into the rest of the week. I'll have those details coming up next.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the